Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. Om Tat Sat, Om Agyana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Namane Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hari Bol and Hare Krishna. Welcome to this fantastic Friday session. Thank you very much for being here. And I hope you recollect what we discussed to help you recap very soon. Yeah. So the last time we discussed about the bee, the honeybee. And we discussed about how a hunter takes away the honey laboriously produced by the honeybees. Similarly, saintly mendicants such as brahmacharis and sannyasis are entitled to enjoy the property painstakingly accumulated by householders dedicated to family enjoyment. We discussed about the honeybee, and we discussed about how the honeybee is very busy collecting, and we saw the example. Today we're going to discuss about the deer. This amazing Avadhuta in the forest truly is an extremely intelligent person. And he learned lessons from the bee, several lessons that we spoke about. And he also learned lessons from the deer. What type of lesson one can hear from the deer? We'll be wondering. So here is this beautiful shloka from the Bhagavatam that says, Gramya Gitam na shrunuyat yatir vanacharah kvachit siksheta harinad badhan mrigayor gita mohitat. That's wonderful. A saintly person dwelling in the forest in the renounced order of life should never listen to songs or music promoting material enjoyment. Rather, a saintly person should carefully study the example of the deer who was bewildered by the sweet music of the hunter's horn and is thus captured and killed. Very formidable warning. Don't dare to listen because your spiritual life will be killed. It will instantly die. Because this is a powerful way that a spiritualist, or especially a saintly man, a renunciant, a sannyasi, can kill himself and his spiritual life. You know, in the forest, it is the deer which caught hold of Bharata Maharaj. It came so simply, so nicely, so sweetly, and it completely disturbed his whole life. It set everything upside down for him. He fell in love with the deer. Amazing things happened to him, which of course he regretted in his life as a deer, and later he became all right as Jada Bharat, and then he went back to Godhead. So looks like the deer plays a very important role in many people's lives, challenging them. So it says here that the deer fell off because it did not know what's happening. Just imagine the hunter, he has an assistant playing the horn. When it plays the horn, the deer, pricks up its ears and it becomes completely enamored by the sweet sound of the flute. And then it just stands there stunned. Where is the sound coming from? How sweet it is. And the hunter takes aim and plumb, what a duck on the wall target. Boom, he's killed. All because he became attracted through one of his senses to the music, to the beautiful flute. The deer lost his life. Similarly, senses are very strong. We have been hearing about it. How Krishna explains in the Bhagavad Gita, one sense that is uncontrolled can sweep off a person from his spiritual life completely. Right? This is an amazing example. We hear music of all sorts, but a renunciant especially should not have the sense gratification of listening to music, because from music follows other things, and you'll go plummeting down. You know, I have seen a sannyasi, a Madhva sannyasi. Who's it? I think you know him. You know the person who sang the Bhagavad Gita is very famous. Everybody was using his chanting. Even 4-5 years back, it was a Madhva sannyasi earlier.
Vidyabhushan Swami Maharaj.
Yes, Vidyabhushan Swami was earlier a sannyasi. I have seen him as a sannyasi, met him in Bangalore temple when he came for one of our programs, the Hare Krishna Hill temple. Later, he was a very good Carnatic music singer. Correct me if somebody remembers this history, if I'm wrong. He got so interested in music and he was a very good singer. He would sing like nothing, all these bhakti songs. Later, he became so much involved in singing and music, he gave up his sannyas ashram. He got married to a famous lady who was a famous singer. And they both started singing after that, completely dedicated to songs. Of course, maybe singing bhakti songs. But this is a real life example that I know, that what music can do to a renunciant, to a sannyasi, devastate him and his spiritual pursuit completely. So what is being said here in the Bhagavatam has happened in real life in front of my own eyes. Even today, I think he's singing and he's giving concerts and everything like that. I don't know, I'm out of touch. Maybe somebody from Karnataka will know that better. Anybody here know something? Am I saying the right thing? Any Karnataka, see, Karnataka and yavriddare elli? Heli. Now helu correct.
Yeah, Maharaj. Recently he made a movie also.
So he was a sannyasi before, no? Do you know that?
Yes, Maharaj.
Ah, right. So I'm just confirming it. Yeah, thank you. So other people from Karnataka also will know that. But nowadays they won't think, so what? No, you just want to get married, so you got married, so what? So the new generation is a little different. But as per scriptural this thing, he gave up his sannyasa because of music. Because of music. You know, music is very powerful. Even animals will get stunned by music. When Krishna plays the flute, it is mentioned all the animals, not only deers in the forest, will simply stand still and prick their ears up. The leaves will stop shaking in the trees. The Yamuna river will flow the opposite side. Calves will stop sucking milk from the udders of their mother and simply stand with open mouth with all the milk dripping out of their thing, hearing Krishna's flute. Of course, this is Krishna playing the flute. So definitely it will be mesmerizing. Of course, all the gopis will hear it and go tumbling down into the forest when Krishna plays the flute from Vamshivat. So, of course, this is Krishna's music. But living entities, conditioned souls, are attracted by the sound of music. And because of that, many things can happen to them. Especially if they are renunciants, they should be very, very careful. There is a beautiful story of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu hearing the Gita Govinda chanted. And hearing it, he was completely lost in meditation on Krishna. And he started running uncontrollably through the thorns, through the bushes and everything, going towards the source of that sound. And it's Govinda who ran behind Lord Chaitanya and somehow caught hold of him and stopped him just in time and said, "It's a lady who's singing." And Lord Chaitanya came to his senses and said, "Oh my, Govinda, you saved me. You saved my life. what would have happened if I had gone and touched that woman? I am a sannyasi. Like that, he regretted it very much and embraced Govinda and said, thank you for saving me. In this way, you will see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu illustrating how even he became, of course, he became attracted because of the bhakti element in the singing of Gita Govinda. Gita Govinda is composed by Jayadeva Goswami. And I was just there in Mayapur in a place called Champahati, where Jayadeva Goswami composed the Gita Govinda. And he sang it. And it is even today used written form in a cloth that is bound around the Lord during Badashringar every day in the night. The Lord revels in it. So Lord Chaitanya, being the Supreme Personality of Godhead, got attracted to Gita Govinda. But Govinda stopped him, right, and saved him from a big calamity. Here, it is also mentioned in the next shloka, Nityavaditra Gitani Jushan Gramyani Yoshitamasam Kridanako Yasya Rishya Singho Mrigi Sutaha. Please read that, Anup.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Becoming attracted to the worldly singing, dancing, and musical entertainment of beautiful women, even the great sage Rishyashringa, the son of a deer, fell totally under their control, just like a pet animal.
Interesting. You see Rishyashringa having a ball dance with all the ladies. What about Rishyashringa? Why is his name mentioned? It's very interesting. Rishyashringa was actually a very powerful sage. Very, very powerful sage. Why he was powerful is because he was brought up by his father in a particular way. The story is there in the Mahabharata and the Puranas also. It's a very interesting story. So because it's mentioned here in the Bhagavat, we will discuss that a little bit. Rishyashringa, he was born out of a deer. There's a big story, I don't want to go into it. Vibhondaka, sage Vibhondaka is the father of Rishyashringa. It is mentioned that a lady was sent by Indra. Her name is Harsha from the higher planets. She's a nice lady, one of the society girls. And she was asked to do something for the sake of Indra, by Brahma. So she accepted, although she didn't want to do this. But Indra ordered, you have to do it because Brahma has said so. And you must, just bewilder this person, Vibhondaka, who is doing all this fantastic austerities. I'm afraid he's doing it for him to take my position. So in this way, as usual, Indra is always afraid of these things. And this lady went there and then very nicely chanted mantras and all that. And Vibhondaka is very much associated and likes to hear Vedic mantras. He heard and said, who are you? And then she said, I chanted these mantras because I want a child by you and all that. And then she said, if you don't do that, I'll give up my body. You are like this, you like this. I want only you. You should give me a child. He gave all sorts of arguments. Why me? Who am I? I'm not interested. And all that. And finally, it so happened that he left his semen, and the semen was put into a deer, and the deer bore the child and delivered a beautiful child. Only thing, the child was looking extremely good to look at, very handsome and very beautiful. Only that it had a horn from its forehead, a deer horn. It's very amazing. So he was called Rishyashringa, right? Rishyashringa means deer's horn. One who has a deer's horn is the son of a deer. So this may sound amazing to some people, but this is actually a story. And Vibhondaka brought him up very specially. He never exposed him to any woman. Inside the forest, there was no female species of animals also. He made sure. And so Rishyashringa was completely dependent on his father. His father taught him amazing things. and he became very powerful Rishi, a wonderful brahmachari who was strength of austerity, of
Maharaj
education
cannot
and
hear
learning.
Maharaj.
You cannot hear me? Really?
Yeah.
Why? I don't know.
Now it's okay.
Can the rest of you hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
Maharaj.
Now it's
Yes,
okay,
Maharaj.
Maharaj. Now it's okay.
Okay, where did you stop hearing me?
He was brought up very carefully by his father.
Okay. He was brought up extremely carefully by his father. He never exposed him to any woman. And he wanted him to be very pure without association with any woman. And in this way, he had grown up. And for everything, he was dependent on his father. Whatever his father says, he will listen. Father grew him up very nicely and made him learn all the Vedas and this thing. And he was very powerful Rishi, he was becoming. On the other side, there was King Dasharath, whose dear friend was King Romapad. Romapad had no children, and Dasharath wanted a son, but he had a daughter called Shanta. And Romapad said, I'm not having children. At least you have a daughter here, and you are not looking after the daughter very well because you want a son. Why don't you give the daughter to me? And in this way, Dasharath and Romapad, who were very good friends, said, I hand over my daughter to you. Giving Datta of a daughter, it's agreed upon. So he gave the daughter to Romapad. Romapad became very happy. As soon as he got the daughter in his kingdom, no more rains came. And everybody started saying it's because of this lady who came into our kingdom as your daughter. Since then, there is no rain. 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, no rain. Famine. And so he didn't know what to do. He said, no. He went to a Jyotishan and asked. He said, no, it's not because of your daughter. It's because of you giving charity to Brahmins and making some mistake. You gave some diamonds, then you packed some false thing, and you lied and cheated that Brahmin, and the Brahmana came to know. And in this way, there is a curse on you, and this is not going to happen. So how is it going to change? He said, you have to bring this Rishi called Rishi Shringa. He's a pure brahmachari. And you should bring him here. As soon as you bring him here, it'll rain, and you should get him married to your daughter, to Shanta. If you do this, there'll be prosperity for you, and he will stay here, and automatically everything will be looked after. But you have better be careful about the father of Rishi Shringa, Vibondaka. If he gets to know about it, if he gets angry, he'll burn the entire universe. What to speak of you getting rain or anything, everybody will be dead. Right? So that is a big challenge. And so they discussed and they worked out something. And then Romapad made a plan how to get him. And he said, I should send some ladies and he will get attracted. And in this way, it's mentioned that he looked into the society girls, the prostitutes in his kingdom. And as soon as everybody heard, oh, you have to do this to Rishi Shringa, they all left and said, it's too tough. We don't want to be burned to ashes or something. But one lady came forward, I'll do this for my country, for you, my dear king. Anyway, my life is like this. I like to do something good with my life. And so she came forward and said, whatever facility you want, he asked me, I'll give you. And she said, give me so many women. Give me this facility. I want a large boat. And it'll have all musical instruments. And I want most talented women with me. And I want this, I want that. She asked for everything. And they built a huge boat. Half of the river's width was inside that. And they had all these women in that. It was covered with bushes and nobody could see it. And it set sail slowly in the river and went right up to that place. But inside the ashram, Vibundaka was being called by the demigods for something very important, some homa, yajna to be done and all that. So he told Rishi Shringa, I have to go. This is important duty. And he told him that, you know how to do the yajna. You should never fail in doing the yajna. Morning and evening, you should do it. You do that. I've already taught you how to. Just keep doing it 1 or 2 days. Don't go out anywhere. And look after your routine stuff, which I've told you, and just be here, learn the scriptures. I'll be back in 1 or 2 days. And he left. And the demigods came to know about it, and they informed Romapad. And here, all his whole troop on the boat were ready. And they slowly climbed in when Vibundaka had gone. And a few of them were very beautiful looking and very talented. Went there. For the first time in his life, Rishi Shringa saw somebody else. he looked at them and he said, "Who are you? What type of rishi and sages are you? You look very nice. I'm getting very attracted to you." And he started touching them in all their parts. He said, "What are these parts of your body?" And he started talking all sorts of things because they're very excited about their company. And then they started dancing, they started singing, and then he started singing and dancing with them. Like you see here, he was roaming around with them and dancing and singing for them. 2 days off, Vibondaka is not there. He had fun with them and he became so attracted, so engrossed with them. They said, "Why don't you come with us?" He said, "No, what about my yajna that has been done?" One of them said, "I will do the yajna for you, don't worry. And you can come back, there's no problem. We'll take you around for a trip like this, and you can come back." They just slowly inveigled him. And he was saying, "I'm happy to come, only that I'm worried about my father. Don't worry, before your father comes, we'll come back." And all that, the summer got him to the boat. And throughout the boat ride, he was enjoying singing, dancing. And he was so excited in the company of women. He didn't know they were women. He had never seen a woman in his life. And then as soon as he landed in the kingdom and stepped onto the kingdom with his feet, it rained. It rained like nothing, and all of them were in great joy. He was welcomed in a very big way, and he was very surprised. There are so many people, there are all sorts of people, and I did not know about all these things. He became excited. And then he got married to Shanta, the actual daughter of King Dasharath, which means she is the sister of Rama. He got married to Rishishringa. So this is the sighting here that you see, that King Rishishringa, under the aegis of course, afterwards Vibondaka will find out, he'll come to the ashram, he'll get real angry and enraged. He will land up here, he'll be ready to curse Ramapad, and Ramapad will fall on his feet, and many things will happen. That's a long story, so I don't want to get into the story. But the point here is mentioned in the Bhagavad here is about Rishishringa, how he got enamored by the song and the dance of the women. So much so that he was completely forgetting himself. He forgot all his learning. He forgot all that he had understood. And he just got carried away by the dance and the music. So, women, for a renunciant, definitely has to be very cautious. Then if they are dancing women and singing women, that is even more dangerous for him. And especially, that's why don't listen to mundane music, especially meant for sense gratification. A renunciant, a sannyasi, should never do that. That's why even when we do kirtan, we don't get into raga and all those things. That's not important. What's important is to hear the holy names of Krishna. Somebody may ask me, what about Tyagaraja? What about so-and-so, who is that Trivandrum king, Tirunal, what is his name? Uttaradam, Chitra Tirunal. Swati Tirunal, I'm sorry. Swati Tirunal, very famous Carnatic music singer. Of course, he was not a renunciant. Neither was other people like maybe Tyagaraja's Kirtis and Ramachandra and all that. You have many famous devotees who are musicians, but their music is completely used to glorify the Lord. They were not like sitting and having sense gratification of the music. It's different. It's coming from bhakti. It's not coming from sense gratification. Most of the music in this world is meant for sense gratification. It's very attractive to hear, right? Even now, if I hear some strain of music that I heard when I was in college, or I was in this thing, I was playing music, by the way, so I was very much into music. So I can get just carried away. Wow, it was a nice song. But it's so easy to get lost in gratification of any one of the senses. So easy. So here is a caution that especially renunciants should be very, very careful not to listen to mundane music meant for sense gratification. These things are very subtle. They enter at a very subtle level in your subtle body. And they are very powerful. They'll sit there and the tune will keep coming again and again to you. And it will disturb you. Maya has a way of getting inside everybody, even in the best of sages and rishis and sannyasis, right? They can fall prey to it. So in Kali Yuga especially, it's not so easy. Wherever you go, in the bus stand, in this thing, there's loud blaring music everywhere. You can't like live in a different world and plug your ears and shut your eyes, and you better go to the forest somewhere where there are no human beings. And there also you'll have a nice looking deer coming to you and say, please save me, please feed me. And dangers all over this world, everywhere, right? So the best way is to actually absorb ourselves in kirtan, glorifying Krishna by chanting the holy names. That way you will be satisfied in terms of hearing music, in terms of a dance, because you will actually take part in it. It's not that you will watch a dance and watch singing or hear somebody's sound of singing. You will actually take part in the dance and the chant and everything. You become fully satisfied inside. You don't care about hearing sense gratificatory music. It's nothing compared to what kirtan can give you. Kirtan is supreme. If music be the food of love, play on. Shakespeare said that. All of these people glorified music as very soothing to the soul, calming the soul, and giving you relaxation and things like that. So somebody will ask, what's wrong in listening to a little music here? Why you guys are so fussy? You cannot listen to some music? What's wrong? As if it's a great sinful activity or something. But these things come inside like a needle and go out like a plow. So this Avadhuta is saying, no. They may say it's nothing wrong, nothing wrong. It will start like that in a very innocent way. It's an innocent way. When I joined the movement, I was being told once that there are two phenomena. One is called small Maya, big Krishna. The other one is called big Maya, small Krishna. One devotee explained to me. He said, in the initial stages, you're in big Maya. From the outside world, you come inside and you take a little bit of Krishna consciousness. Oh, I like the prasadam. I like the kirtan and the dancing and the chanting. Philosophy and all don't talk to me much. So I come every week to enjoy little Krishna. The rest of the time I have big Maya. I don't mind it. But that little Krishna will go inside you, and slowly occupy. And slowly you'll become interested in chanting and taking a vow, stopping drinking, that thing, smoking, tea, chai, restaurant, this, everything. And the association of devotees, slowly Krishna will become bigger inside you. Maya will become smaller. But then after you become pretty well Krishna consciousness, you become a little too confident. Say, a little bit of Maya is okay, yaar. I'm already sannyasi. I'm already chanting 16 rounds for 35 years, boy. And how much of seva I have done for Krishna. What does it matter if I just listen to a little music? What does it matter if I drink a little bit of chai? Yaar? I don't drink chai. I'm not drinking chai for 35 years. 35 years I've not drunk chai. A little bit of chai. What is happening? The sky is going to fall on my head or what? It's okay. Let's drink a little tea. Let's listen to a little music. It makes me feel cool, nice. That's how it starts. I call that little Maya, big Krishna syndrome. And you justify it by saying that I'm already involved in huge, big size Krishna consciousness. Huge. What is there in taking a little bit of something? That become a habit that will enter you and gradually become bigger and bigger and bigger. And in this way, it will eat you up. So therefore, this Avadhuta is saying, watch out. Don't listen to any mundane music, especially if you're a renunciant, if you're interested. This is poisonous. It is poison that is entering. See, it's a nice shloka given in Chaitanya Charitamrita. I forget the beginning of it. Anyway, can't recollect. It says that ha hanta hanta vishabakshnato apya sadhu. Oh sadhu, if you do this even a little bit, poison has entered you. Ha hanta hanta visha abakshnato. You're eating poison. Be very careful in small amounts. It's just small amounts is being administered. Regularly, if you take it, it'll accumulate inside you and one day, boom, it'll overcome you. Watch out. So much for deers and music. Deer music. This is a powerful lesson from the Avadhuta that's being given to Maharaj Yadu. So we must be, for some of them, they will think that, oh, this is too much, once in a while. I listen to so-and-so, Ramayana, Rama's songs by so-and-so and Kritis and all I hear. What is wrong? Nothing wrong. I like it. So, fine. Grahasthas, maybe sometimes they do that and it's perfectly all right. But I think brahmacharis and sannyasis should definitely be careful, and so that their vows are not broken. Okay. Jai Ho, Hare Krishna. I'll stop here, and if there's any comment or question. It's all about sannyasi, so it's got no. There's only sannyasi here is Maharaj, and he's talking to himself. So we don't have anything to do. We're all grahasthas and grahasthanis, and what have we got to do with renunciants, listening to music and going off the track? It doesn't matter to us. I can understand that. But I think there is some amount of warning also for you in that. You should hear very carefully. Om Tat Sat, Hare Krishna. Good night. Hari Bol.